Hey, what's going on, guys? The Horror Man back on Hammer Horror Month with my review of The Quiet Ones.
Stop! Hammer time!
This might be the movie this month to which I was most looking forward to revisiting. I watched it for the first time last year and was so impressed that it became one of my Top Tuesday picks for 2014. I know Jason was excited about revisiting this one too, because it had been years since he had last seen it. The Quiet Ones, as I just mentioned, is a 2014 Hammer horror film, starring Jared Harris and Olivia Cooke in her very first film role. Although it was released in 2014, The Quiet Ones was actually filmed in 2012, so Olivia Cooke was only 18 years old at the time. She is fantastic in this. A true highlight among many in this movie. Inspired by actual events, The Quiet Ones follows a college audiovisual student named Brian. Along with two other students, he agrees to take part in the experiment led by one of his professors, Joseph Copeland. The subject of the experiment is young Jane Harper, played by Olivia Cooke. She's a deeply troubled girl, and Professor Copeland has an unconventional plan for dealing with her. Brian tries to remain professional behind the camera, but finds himself being pulled closer and closer to the personal side of the experiment. He may even be falling in love with Jane, and he's not the only one. But is she troubled by mental illness? Or something far, far more sinister? That's not to say mental illness isn't serious. Don't attack me now. I love that The Quiet Ones goes back and forth between the actual movie and the footage Brian is shooting through his camera. As we, the viewers, look through the lens, it sort of makes us part of the experiment without our consent. The movie pulls you in from the opening frame. At least, it does for me. With a limited cast of characters, you feel like you're one of them, and you're there with them. Jane is such an intriguing case. The film is interesting and mysterious. It certainly makes you question what's really happening and what isn't. Is Jane struggling with mental illness, or is she possessed by a demonic presence? Is she crazy, or is she haunted? And who is actually the real villain of The Quiet Ones? I truly believe you'll be going back and forth on what you think is actually happening. But as Jason said while we were watching this, it's the best movies that force us to do that. There is a reason why I picked this as one of my favorite horror movies of 2014, and I stand by that. Revisiting it confirmed it belongs in that top 2. There are some jarringly shocking images throughout, and there are jump scenes done just right, as they should be. Most, not all, but most of the movie is set within one location. I love the scenery, both outside and in. Speaking of scenery I love, despite being rated PG-13, The Quiet Ones does feature, albeit brief, nudity. Olivia Cooke gives us a quick blink and you'll miss it peek at the goods while in the bathtub. There's another bathtub scene later on in the film as well, which is much, much creepier. I mentioned how impressed I was with The Quiet Ones last year when I watched it, and I may love it even more after watching it a second time now. The ending, for me, is amazing. That's what particularly impressed me the first time. This is an awesome Hammer horror movie that deserves way more love. If you haven't seen The Quiet Ones, I highly recommend it. Have you seen it? If so, what do you think of it? Comment below and let me know. As always, please be sure to check out Jason's review of The Quiet Ones as well to hear his thoughts. Which Hammer horror film will we review next? Check back tomorrow to find out. Until then, thanks for watching, guys. Hit that thumbs up and, be kind, subscribe.